So Steve, tell me what you do.
I have spent the last year and a half helping a growing insurance company automate their management of their reinsurance treaties.
Really, and give me some more insight into what that means.
Well, as one of the guys at the client told me many times, if you've seen one reinsurance system, you've seen one reinsurance system.
How come?
Well, every reinsurer, every insurance company negotiates with their reinsurers. Attorneys do the negotiating, and the contracts could be anything. Whatever they could dream up and both parties agree to could be the instrument for reinsurance. And so there are very few reinsurance systems, and none of them suit everybody. So at some point, the differences have to be dealt with uniquely. And that was the case in this case, where they were doing, historically they've been doing it with spreadsheets that have a lot of plugs and manual entries, and every month they have to take the data from their claim system and put it into spreadsheets and then massage the data manually to produce the correct results.
Sounds like it takes a long time to do that.
It takes a long time. It's difficult to train somebody to do it, and then there's always a concern that they'll forget something month to month. And we saw a lot of that when we were looking at their spreadsheets. So what I did was I helped them design a solution to automate that process and take the human factor out of it. It's basically a push-the-button solution. But we tried to engineer it in such a way that it's flexible, so that over time, if the treaties change, meaning the business rules change, they can deal with that better than they could in some more standard, let's say, packaged applications.
And so, that's great that you did it for this insurance company. Is that knowledge transfer? Oh, well, first tell me about some of the results that happened within this insurance company.
Well, the objective of the project was to remove the possibility that staff member or an accountant could either make a mistake or could willfully to change a number
So that's
to
a
affect
big
the
risk
result.
for that company.
Well, that was a risk. That was the risk they were trying to eliminate. So we eliminated that risk and removed their access to A, the data coming from the database, and B, we put a control environment around the outputs, the reports, so that they would need permission to make changes, and that would be controlled and tested by IT or by a support mechanism. So that was the first objective, and then the second thing, because we've eliminated so much manual work, they've been able to reduce the staffing in this department by 25%.
They must be very happy with that, huh?
They are. It was a difficult project, very challenging. It required, the inputs of a lot of people and an ability to sort of take all of the exceptions and the rules and the special cases and develop a framework in which they all worked.
And so how did you it seems like a lot of people might want different things, and how did you get buy-in, and how did you learn what was really important to the leaders of this project in the company?
Well, I had three things really. At the very base level, I started by analyzing the spreadsheets they had, which were very complex. But they allowed me to build data models so that I could see how the data flowed from one place to another and what had to be the result. I also, in the middle, I was able to work with the manager who built those spreadsheets and who's very knowledgeable about reinsurance. I don't think there's anything he doesn't know. He's the fellow who said to me, if you've seen one reinsurance system, you've seen one reinsurance system. And then finally, the sort of the visionary for the project was the controller, and I put in some extra effort to get to know him really well. And he and I essentially collaborated on the end result.
And so how happy were they with that end result?
Well, as I said, it was a difficult project. I'm sure that along the way they just thought that it was taking too long and it was too complex. But in the end, I think they got what they wanted. And I'm sure that they're happy with it.
Great. And so could you tell me a little bit about, so you did this great project for this one organization. Is this knowledge transferable to other opportunities that AMPR might be in front of?
Well, I hope so. We have an insurance department, or insurance practice, and reinsurance is a vital part of insurance. It allows insurance companies to mitigate their risks, So I'm assuming that any insurance company we deal with has an insurance group who have these same problems. And if it's really true that one insurance system is one insurance system, what we've learned to solve Company A's problem will permit us to go in and talk to Company B about how we can solve their problem.
And I wonder if, do you think there might be opportunities within existing clients to talk about this?
I think so. I know we have other insurance company clients.
And do you think they might be interested to hear what you've accomplished with this company?
Well, I know they will. I know that we've been talking to, I'm not sure they're a client yet, but we've been talking to Selective Insurance. And I actually met the fellow who is in charge of looking at their spreadsheet risks. And I know that they're going through, triage now of the spreadsheets they have. So I would like to talk to him more about how we can help them solve at least the reinsurance part of it.
Great.